Right, hello to you. I'm here with Rob Bolwell from Dutton Gregory. Rob, hello to you.
Yeah, hi Pete, nice to make your acquaintance. It's late in the evening. How are you?
All right, thank you very much. Yes, it's all a bit peculiar at the moment, isn't it? So,
Are you managing to stay sane in these rather
no, no,
strange times?
I'm not saying, but yes, we're certainly getting a lot of
Good.
questions on the helpline. Just to explain, Rob or Dutton Gregory take Arla's helpline, so you must be inundated with questions.
Yeah, there are about 10,500 members of Arla now, and if they have a problem which they can't answer easily in the office, they give us a call. Well, of course, over the last 8 weeks or so, there have been no offices open just about. So a lot of the agents that you and I might deal with are all working at home at their kitchen table, at their dining room table like I am. And if they can't get an answer from a colleague next door, they give us a call. So yeah, helpline calls, probably like your organisation, Pete, they've been absolutely through the roof over the last 8 weeks, through the roof.
Yeah. A common question we're getting all the time is confusion over notices. We're constantly getting asked, I can't issue a notice at the moment, and we keep trying to reassure people who can. So take people through, I have a problem today, what should I be doing about it in terms of somebody not paying me rent?
Yeah, someone's not paying you rent. Not a great deal has changed in terms of what you can do. It's actually when you can do it. We do get this question quite a lot from professional agents. I'm not surprised your members are asking it. They changed the rules at the end of March. With the emergency legislation, they basically said any notice now with a Section 8, an old style notice to quit for Rent Act tenancies, or whether it's a Section 21 notice, it's of 3 months duration. Not 4 weeks, no notice to quit, not 2 months, Section 21, not 2 weeks for Section 8, it's 3 months. But you can still serve it. It just means that if you and I serve a notice today, it's going to be running out towards the latter part of August. So if you like, what we do hasn't changed. It's just the length of time we give a tenant to correct their behaviour. That's the key. That's the key difference.
Mm. And the other thing we're really stressing to people, it's been indicated to us by government that if there's a suggestion in the notice that the landlord hasn't been very nice with their tenant and they're evicting them because they've not got work because of coronavirus and they've not given the tenant a chance to explain themselves, that could possibly get thrown out of court. But I don't think we know, do we? So
no, we don't know. You've got to differentiate between the legislation that we know and the guidelines which the government is promulgating.
Yep.
What we know is that each of your Section 21 and Section 8 notices is now slightly different than the one we served a couple of months ago. Each of those notices now have a bit of a preamble at the front, which says this notice has been amended because of the emergency legislation, because of the Corona-19 virus. So the form is slightly different. And remember, most of these forms, Section 21 and the Section 8 forms, they're what we call prescribed. So in other words, if you don't use the exact form laid down by government, it's invalid. So first of all, members have got to make sure they have the right form. Then they've got to make sure it expires on the right date, which is not 3 months when you think about it, not 3 months when you post it. It's 3 months when the tenant's deemed to get it, which of course, if you post it today, it takes 2 working days to get there. If you drop it through the letterbox on your way home, for example, it's not deemed delivered today, it's deemed delivered tomorrow. So if you're not sure, just take advice. But in terms of what the government expects, yeah, it's true in many ways that the government wants us all to negotiate with our tenants if there's a rent arrears problem. The government doesn't want to rush in and serve a notice or go to court. The government wants you to negotiate and discuss that, the D word, deferment. Don't give the tenants a rent holiday, no, give them a deferment. In other words, allow them to pay some of their rent, perhaps towards the end of the term. And you can download from various websites, probably you've got one too, Pete, a deferment agreement. Makes it absolutely clear that if you're not paying some of your rent this month, it's added on next month or the month after or the month after that. And if you do leave the property early, whatever rent's been deferred must be paid at that point. Comes out the deposit, you've got to pay it. So it's not a rent holiday, it's a deferment. And that's what the government is expecting us to do. But, you know, it's guidance, it's not written in tablets of stone. What is coming, and you may have seen, is some sort of what they call pre-action protocol. Now, if you have a landlord who's a social landlord, a housing association, whatever, believe it or not, they can't simply issue proceedings tomorrow if there's an arrears case or they want to serve a Section 21. They've got to make various bits of disclosure to the tenant and try and sort out any differences they've got before they press the big red button and start court proceedings. Now, we don't have any of that in the private rented sector. Private landlords are not hamstrung at all by that. But last Monday week, our housing minister stood up before a select committee and said he wants to bring a similar protocol in for the private rented sector. So what I would say is, A, we don't know when it's going to come. B, we don't know exactly what it's going to say, but we do know it's on the cards. So if you have landlords in a position now to issue proceedings, perhaps, do it now when we know what the ground rules are. Don't perhaps delay for a whole host of reasons for another 2 or 3 months, whatever it may be.
Yes, I mean, it's interesting with the pre-action protocol that this actually was talked about a couple of months ago, and the housing secretary, as I say, stood up and repeated a couple of weeks ago that he's discussing with the master of the rolls. It seems to be unclear as exactly why you can't just bring it in at the moment. I presume it would have to be a new pre-action protocol.
It would, and of course these pre-action protocols in theory come from the court itself, but this is politicians wading in for overtly political reasons with a small p. They don't want there to be a bit of a crisis in 2 or 3 months' time when the whole lockdown comes to an end, either because landlords are rushing off to the courts and clogging the courts up, or 3 months on from that, bailiffs are rushed off their feet with evictions, and that just causes more problems down the way, as it were.
Mm. Well, look, Rob, thank you very much. That's all good stuff, and I have no doubts whatsoever we'll be talking to you again in another video. So just temporarily, bye for now.
Thank you very much. See you soon.